What's up, Barbarians? I have made the Rend Rupture build that I did in the PTR, and I'm going to show off Pit 70. And in the PTR, I could clear Pit 70 with 1 minute left. We're going to show that this version is actually stronger. We do not have everything maxed out, so we are going to use a Soothing Spice. And to get a critical strike to 100, we are going to use the Elixir of Precision. Okay, Rend Rupture. This is by far my favorite way to play the game. But the problem is, it's not the strongest way to play. Bleed is not very strong. Sorry, Rend is not very strong. And in Season 9, I don't even know if I'm going to play Rend, because Flay with the boots feels awesome. Mind you, this is the strongest I've been able to make Rend, is this version right here. I did some testing, had some fun. It does require like some pretty heavy costs. We do use the Grandfather. I would use the Air of Perdition, but I don't have it. But we do use the Magnum Opus. So you can use the Ugly Bastard Helm, that does work. And it works quite well. As you see, Pit 70 is clearly no problem, but the problem always has been with Rend is bossing. Overall, I love this build. If this was stronger, I would probably only play this build. So you play it the same way you do with the Fields of Crimson, except everything is on dual wield. That's extremely important, as the Magnum Opus will give you the most damage. And in Season 8, you can also set up your bleed skills differently than in Season 9. So far with the PTR, the best tempers were just straight damage, because we had more things that use the straight damage temper to increase all your damage. In Season 8, we can still use bleeding damage, berserking damage, and flat damage, and a little bit of vulnerable as well. But overall, this is my favorite build. And it looks like it's going to be not very good in Season 9. So if you like Rend Rupture, play it while you can. Because this might be it for a while, who knows. Well, that'll be it for the season. Oh, they said they might do core skills in Season 10. But we'll see what has to happen there. It needs a lot of work. Pit 70 is clearly no problem. And it's always the boss with Rend. We can easily clear Pit 75, but do you guys really want to see like a 5-minute boss video? Because really, this is where Rend lags. And this is why Flay is going to be amazing in Season 9. It's going to be able to do AoE and bossing? That's awesome. This build is great for the Infernal Hordes, Helltide, Nightmare Dungeons. Not bossing. What I'm using for bossing now is actually my double swing barb. That is my favorite one for doing layer bosses. Again, you can do it. As you can see, we are doing a decent job, but it's just slower. Okay. So we're halfway through his health. This was actually a lot of fun to build out. And I was quite surprised how well it's doing, considering we aren't even close to having our glyphs maxed out. On the PTR, we had 100 glyphs. We had Paragon 300. And Season 8 Rend is much, much better. Nothing's maxed out. And everything's the same. And we are doing much better. So to me, that means our seasonal powers are a lot weaker for Season 9. And also with the changes to bleed, Rend is going to be in a weaker spot, even though it's already weak enough. So if you want to push this level 75, you can. But your boss fight will be much, much longer. I need more movement speed on my boots. Pit 70 complete, and if you like Rend Rupture, you could hit Pit 75. I don't know, maybe we could go even higher, considering we aren't fully maxed out with our glyphs. We have the Ugly Bastard Helm, and if you don't have this, you could use the Air of Perdition. Either or will work. I haven't tried the Air of Perdition yet because I don't have it. Next is the Rage of Haragath. Must get a high lucky hit chance. Then we have the Conceited aspect with strength, attack speed, critical strike damage. You could get ranks to Rend if you wanted to take off critical strike chance. If you have the Air of Perdition, make sure your tempers, you max out your Blood Rage node, and get some more Rend size. Then we have the aspect of the Iron Warrior. This is one of our 2 ways that we have Unstoppable in the build, and is our main source of damage reduction. Then we have the Weapon Master aspect. It gives you an additional charge of your Weapon Mastery skill. Then we have the aspect of Earthquakes, with no damage over time or bleeding tempers. But you do want a Masterwork chance to hit Rend twice. Get that as close as possible as 100%. My chance for Rend to hit twice is 89.6. And for runes, you want Lith Tech. And for your 2 weapons, on your 2-hander, you want Strength, Max Life, Damage, Rend hit twice. And on your 1-hander, you want Strength, Max Life, double damage over time, chance for Rend to hit twice. And on here, the aspect is Intercom. Then this is a dual wield build, and so you always use the Magnum Opus. And we are also using the Grandfather. This is why our gems are critical strike gems instead of damage over time. If you don't have the Grandfather, you could use either the Fields of Crimson or another legendary aspect with the 2-handed axe. And on here, we use Tam Lum, and that is to make sure that we have full fury 100% of the time. Then we have Ring of the Ravenous. Try to get one with as high as Rend's duration as possible. The Ring of Starless Skies. And the Slaking aspect. Because it has a lucky hit chance, and it also increases our fury, this is great to be paired with the Magnum Opus. And on here you want Strength, Cut to the Bone, and I was short on resistances. Because of that, I had to stack more resistances on my amulet, my boots, and my pants. For boss powers, we use the Lord Zir Blood Pool, and we do that because this is the only one that will synergize with Rupture. Every other damage over time is either poison or shadow, and because of that, we need to use this one. Then we use Cinerat's Flame. If you're using the Air of Perdition, you're going to swap this out for the Harbinger's Hatred Volley. This only works with the Ugly Bastard Helm. Then we have the Blackmailer Sabotage to make us invincible, and we use Andariel's Flaming Skull to give us more damage over time. Our weapon expertise is 2-handed axe. And for the skills, we just use 2 points in Flay. We don't use Flay at all. We put 7 points into Rend, into Violent Rend. 1 point to Pressure Point to get 3 points into Warpath. 3 points in Tempered Fury for the Magnum Opus. 3 points in Imposing Presence for more life. 3 points to Martial Vigor for more damage reduction. 3 points to Iron Skin for Tactical Iron Skin. 3 points into Swiftness. 3 points into Aggressive Resistance. 3 points to Pit Fighter. 3 points of Slaying Strike, and you want 1 point into Exposed Vulnerability, as we do not use the Exploit Glyph. And if you have 3 extra points, you put them in No Mercy, or use a potion to max out your critical strike chance to 100%. 3.7 points into Rupture, into Warrior's Rupture, 3 points to Cut to the Bone, 3 points to Steel Grasp for Fighter Steel Grasp, 1 point to Thick Skin, 3 points to Counteroffensive, 3 points to Duelist for dual wielding, 3 points to Wallop. Make sure that your one-handed weapon is a mace, and 7 points to Wrath of the Berserker for Supreme Wrath of the Berserker. And our key passive is Gushing Wounds. For your arsenal selection, make sure all of your skills are on dual wield. Technically, Flay doesn't need to be on dual wield as we don't use it, but if we do use it, we want to have the most damage. For the Paragon, our first board is Ambidextrous. Our second board is Decimator, where we take Disembowel. And we take Disembowel because we're using the Grandfather for the increase in damage, and for the additional bonus, which makes our Rupture and Steel Grasp cool down all the time. Our third board is Hemorrhage, where we take Rumble. And without putting any points into vulnerable damage, we have Hemorrhage completely maxed out. You'll get enough from your rare nodes here and a couple more nodes here that your vulnerable damage will be maxed out. Our fourth board is Blood Rage, where we take Ire. Our fifth board is Warbringer, where we take Wrath. And Warbringer is a great board as it gives us so much maximum fury, which is going to help the Magnum Opus. And it also has a lot of dexterity. That is Rend Rupture. Rend is my absolute favorite skill. I love playing this build. I just wish it was stronger. One thing I find interesting is in Season 8, we can still use damage tempers, damage over time, for our Gushing Wounds. And because we're using the Grandfather, we also want to stack critical strike damage in order to help our Gushing Wounds. And then we also need to stack damage while berserking. This is the best way that I have found to play Rend Rupture. And if you like bleeding skills, give this a try. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.